has always been a pretty big problem for the competitive gaming industry, especially since most popular games nowadays have things like microtransactions, and Fortnite is no different. In Fortnite, there are more hacks to count than there are ones worth mentioning that actually affect the physical gameplay. Needless to say, you guys probably already know about the hacks like super jump and super speed. But the ones that are becoming increasingly popular, that are starting to become more than just concerning, are things like aimbot, which allow you to shoot enemies without having to aim, or wall hack, which will let you see through walls, and even things like kill all players in the lobby. I mean, with all the esports events popping up, what if they decided to take one of these hacks into games where people actually play for money? Recently, hacks have started to become more common, and it's not massive yet, so while there's still time to prevent it from growing popular, now is the best time to make everyone aware of what's going on. Basically, there are people facing real legal consequences, and things are heating up fast. So I guess the first thing we need to talk about is the problem. The problem with hacking in a game like Fortnite at the ground level may just come off as the microtransactions alone. But ironically, most hackers don't even use skins. So stealing skins is only a small portion of the problem. The issue is more so focused on the fact that people are now making mods and hacks more available than ever before, selling services that allow essentially everyone that pays for anti-cheat bypasses, and they're actually trying to make serious money off of damaging Fortnite's intellectual property and encouraging other players to do so as well. From a player's perspective, when you spend hundreds or thousands of hours learning the new meta, every update, and sacrificing all of your hours so that you can get better at building and you can get better at aiming and you can keep getting better and better and better and maybe one day go pro or even just get really good at the game in general, and you get destroyed by the hacker and die to him. Whatever, it's funny, clip it. He gets reported, he gets banned, or maybe you just never see him again. Whatever. But what if it were to get to the point where you got into another game, and then it happened again, and again, and again, and now all of a sudden, every match is a hacked lobby, or I encounter someone that's a hacker. Am I still having fun? Why am I competing? Why don't I use the hacks? For those of you who played Overwatch, there was a huge discrepancy in lawsuit with a cease and desist filed against a company that made thousands of dollars off of selling Overwatch mods known as Bosslands. And PUBG at one point, and some even argue even today, has gotten overrun with these Chinese hackers. And to put it simply, a game where cheating becomes the norm makes the player base leave very quickly. It can make for drastic detriments in the amount of money that these companies make off of the game. In Call of Duty 4, for example, it has gotten bad. And I mean bad. Like, you join a lobby, and it's like every other match you get in is just infection lobby after super jump lobby after challenge lobby. In GTA 5, it's so bad right now that they have an anti-cheat where you get banned if you get mass amounts of cash, but modders are essentially joining games, dropping these physical money bags, so millions of dollars, on players, and so they're getting all this money at once so quickly, so you just randomly get banned and penalized for deciding to play Grand Theft Auto today. So Epic Games are essentially trying to deadbolt the door to hackers before they can even get a chance to come in, which is the smartest way to go about it. Blizzard has always been great about anti-cheat, and Epic Games are now stepping up. Now in this video, we're specifically going to be talking about a YouTube user known as GoldenMod. Now GoldenMod was a YouTube user which shan't assume the status YouTuber, as that such feat is only available to those who have worked to achieve the status through hardship. But he took shortcuts, he took the easy way out, and the main thing this user would post onto his channel was what he would call trolling kids using aimbot and hacks. Now, obviously, there's a distinct line that separates the art of tomfoolery and literally shooting someone across the map where it hasn't even loaded in on the other player's screen and killing them and then just saying, "Ha! You got pranked! Ha! That was so fun! That was so funny!" No. For whatever reason, he would pride himself in such doing and upload these videos to his channel. Sometimes he would use mods or cheats that weren't really harmful to the game, but a lot of times he would upload ones that were. Now, in his most recent attempt to defend himself, GoldenMod says that he is just a kid, which is probably true, but just being a kid is not a get-out-of-jail-free card, because at the forefront of all things, we have to assess the kind of person you have to be to benefit from cheating other players out of a fair and fun time. We cannot just look at you as a hollow person. We have to look at you as an individual. Now, judging from the videos that I've seen from him, he doesn't seem to be the worst person. And I'm a fair person and a firm believer in second chances. Although the rate at which he's growing and the types of cheats he's posted on his YouTube channel means he's incurring a large influx of YouTube revenue, which in turn means he's got a lot of tax money to pay. And that also means he's got an accountant. And that means he's taken on the responsibility of an adult, which alone outrules the I'm just a kid card. Now, Golden Mod's best point, or defense I should say, that he goes on to talk about in his video titled Golden Mod Sued by Fortnite, where he attempts to defend himself and explain the situation, all while shouting out his second channel he's made, was probably that other channels regularly upload leaked images and get away with early content and early gameplay of skins and things of that nature. Which, while it may be something that you participated in and you maybe took part in these things, was not the primary reason that he is being held accountable. So let's just first get that out of the way. While that may be true, that is unrelated information. So we have to isolate that variable entirely. But most importantly, two wrongs don't and will never make a right. I'd also like to add that early content on things like skins actually, in fact, hype players up for what they could be seeing soon, as opposed to what you're doing, which is actually damaging to the infrastructure of the way that the game is played and a series of other things that I don't feel the need to even get into. But Epic Games have striked over 10 of Golden's videos on his account, his YouTube channel, which, as you may know, 3 strikes and you're out is YouTube's channel termination policy, which means your channel as an entirety gets removed from YouTube, though his channel is currently standing because I am able to watch his video. So I'm not entirely sure if their policy has changed since the last time that I was familiar with the striking policy, but the biggest thing that they're doing is pressing charges and filing a lawsuit against him. He's a minor and obviously violated terms of service, and his mother attempted to have the case dismissed entirely in a letter they sent to the court emphasizing the fact that he's 14. But the latest filing shows that Epic will be moving forward with the case nevertheless, regardless of the fact that he is 14. The following specifics were provided and released by Torrent Freak. The filing disputes the 4 main points raised in November's letter, saying that the first 3 make no allegation that Epic has failed to state a claim and are therefore irrelevant. The 3 points referred to state that Epic is unable to prove that the boy modified copyrighted game code, that Epic illegally released the boy's name, and that Epic can't prove profit loss as a result of the boy cheating, and as such is not entitled to damages. Supposedly, this also isn't the first time he's faced legal issues in the past. Now, before we get into my opinion, some questions for thought. If you are ingenious enough to use, understand, promote, and sell these hacks, how can you not understand how easy and likely it would be for Epic to take legal action and strike down your channel? Also, now that a YouTube user has built up over 1.7 million subscribers from these hacks, does he still intend to post and share videos about Fortnite hacks after everything is all said and done, or turn over a new leaf and post legit content? What do I think personally? Simply put, hacking in Fortnite is wrong. I mean, from a legal standpoint, Epic owns the intellectual rights to the game, so selling ways to break their game would result in a lawsuit. Now, to the extent and how they will go about figuring out how exactly you decided you were able to sell them, and the means through which you were able to sell these products, and how many people you sold these products, which would not only give them the ability to decide how much damage he's done in terms of the amount of players, and they could kind of sum that into the average player's amount of money that they spend on the game. But personally, I think the kid should have the opportunity to keep his channel. The 1.7 million subscribers subscribe to watch you hack? Is that the kind of audience you'd want to watch your videos, even if he could continue on an account called Golden Mods? It may just be better to start from scratch, maybe Golden something else. And if he has the will to come back and try to do YouTube more practically and honestly and earn that YouTuber status, that's the ideal for me, because it's obvious the kid's in a bad place if he's doing what he's doing, and he's doing all these things and just drowning out the consequences, or maybe he's just naive. I don't know the full story. I don't know him as a person. You can't judge the type of person someone is from what they are behind a camera or behind a voiceover. But knowing Epic, which planned to sue for the property damages and the cost of the damages, will likely handle things very fairly, and I don't think they're gonna be milking a low-income family if that's the case, or just milking this family for everything they have, or milking a cow with no milk. I think they're gonna take back what he stole, and use him as a poster child for hackers so that they're kind of broadcasting, in a sense, to all hackers. You think this is fun in games? Well, we'll sue you and show up at your door with a cease and desist. And I mean, honestly, though, like, you really can't post something where you're encouraging hacking or showcasing hacks and not expect to be striked or even attempt to make a defense video. Like, you KO'd yourself. If anything, make offline hacks or cosmetic hacks, but even that's risky because things like custom skins are sometimes even bannable offenses. I've heard cases where people get banned for the custom resolution, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But I would just stay away from it altogether. I mean, look at how quickly PUBG went downhill when all these people started having wall hack, aimbot, flying, or whatever. You might think of it as the singular idea of you being able to hack, but at a larger scale, there's exponential amounts of money that could be lost in the process of selling these kinds of hacks. So does he deserve to get sued? Absolutely. As a singular person, does he deserve a second chance? Yes. Everyone deserves a second chance. And I stand to that. Have you ever encountered a Fortnite hacker? Would you quit Fortnite if hacking became a lot easier and you encountered them almost as much as PUBG? Will Epic Games fairly carry out the case? Or are they going to milk this kid for everything he's got to prove a point? Or are they going to prove a point without doing that? We'll keep you guys updated on this story, but click that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on those push notifications. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this.